Hey everybody, happy Wednesday and welcome to Sideshow Live! I am so excited to be hanging out with you guys. We have such an amazing show today. We have a couple of special guests today. We have Rene Freling from Classic Stills, who's going to be bringing over a couple of brand new prints that's going to share with us. Today, we're going to be looking at some new hot toys. These are the 1/6 scales from Justice League. We have an unboxing segment with Bernadette Bentley, and she's going to be unboxing the Wonder Woman premium format figure. And then something a little bit different. We have a guest that stopped by last week, an actor by the name of TJ Storr. You may have seen him, heard him do everything in video games, in movies like Deadpool, Godzilla King of Monsters, Avengers Civil War, all this stuff. So TJ sits down with Robin and we're gonna play a segment of that interview today on the live show. But if you wanna watch the full show, you can just click on over to watch after this show. And also, of course, this week's Let Your Kids Sideshow Challenge. Guys, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and take a look at the feature collector segment. And that is Greg Anderson. Woo, Greg! Look at that Venom. Wow. One of your favorites?
Yeah.
What about that Hulk and Wolverine? I think that looks really, really, really awesome. And
Thanos finger there popping out too next to Hulk and Wolverine.
who are you, Eagle Eyes? I can't see that. I have really bad eyesight. I'm also loving the ladies, the boss ladies up there. Got Gamora. Yeah.
Are you a fan of the Arkham games too?
I've heard great things about the game. I am not great at playing that, so I haven't had the time, but I think I will sit down if I can find time, which is never, to play this game. You guys, if you want to be a feature collector, you can just go ahead and go to side.show/blog, and hopefully we will see your collection featured on the live settings. Guys, we have a quick video break, but we're gonna be right back with special guest Rene Freling from Classic Stills. welcome back. We have a special guest in studio today, and he is Rene Freling from Classic Prints. Woo! Rene, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We were having, so off camera during the break, we were kind of talking about our love of Marvel films, MCU films, and that's exactly what you brought in studio with you today. So let's talk about what you brought today. I see Tony Stark.
Yep. So this is from Iron Man 1. This is from our 10th anniversary collection. It's a numbered limited edition print, as all of the Classic Stills prints are. So this one is number 29 of 50. This is a 16 by 20. It's hand framed in black wood. It's printed on archival photo paper, which means it's going to last for a really long time. And we use a process called C-print, which stands for chromogenic print. Without getting too technical, it's you know how photographers used to like put them in wet chemistry and hang them up on lines. It's the same process, but done in a big machine. So it means that instead of this being millions of tiny dots, it's actually a completely seamless rendering of a photograph, which we think is the best way to show them. So. And then the matting and the hinging is archival, so it means that basically it's acid free, so it won't stick to the print. So if you want to get the print reframed in 10 years, you're not going to have a print that's stuck to the mat, which obviously happens quite a lot. Mm-hmm. And then they're sealed on the back, and they have UV plexiglass on the front so that it doesn't fade. Oh, so wow. It's all kind of designed to keep keep the integrity of the print, because obviously that's where the value is. Even though if you ever tried to get something framed, it's like super expensive.
It's super expensive. It's super hard, and then I try to go do it myself, and it's cricket. So I leave it to the professionals.
Right.
So that's kind of what I like about this. It's all encompassing. Everything is already done for you, and I think in the black and the white is aesthetically, it kind of can go with any sort of room that you decide to put it in.
It's the classic black frame, white mat. It suits most photographs. So
Well, obviously we love Tony. We love him 3000. Let's look at the other print that we have. I'll just take this. And Captain America, the First Avenger.
That's right. So this is a shot that is a lot less recognizable than Tony Stark from Iron Man 1. When we put together a collection, we try and choose some of the really iconic moments. But then sometimes there's just incredible photography around. Sometimes it's behind the scenes. Sometimes it's a publicity still. This one is from a scene that most people wouldn't think, oh wow, that's my favorite scene, because he actually gets captured by the Hydra soldiers at that point, right? But the shot of him, the expression, the fire around him, his shield, such an incredible photograph that we had to include it.
It's crazy, because the more I'm looking at it, and I know my brain is telling me it's a photograph.
Right.
My eyes are saying it's like a drawing. It just looks so fantastic, like the lighting and everything in that entire moment, it just looked fantastic. And
that's the C print. You can really see when you look in the light the quality of the photograph, and obviously that's really important.
That's amazing, and I love what you brought to show us today. And you guys, these are available on the website right now if you would like to go ahead and order those. So without further ado, can you give us a little bit more background on Classic Stills? Like, what inspired you to start the company? What inspired you to go with fine arts, pop culture prints?
Right. It's kind of crazy because it was literally only 2 years ago. I was on Twitter and a friend of mine had retweeted a picture of, it was an on-set photograph from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which is one of my favorite movies. And I looked at it and thought, wow, that's amazing. I'd love to hang that on my wall. So I started looking into, where can you buy, high quality prints from classic movies and TV shows, and I couldn't really find anything. So a friend of mine at the time, who's been in photo archive management for like 30 years, I approached him about it. He was working in LA. And I said, what about approaching the studios with the idea of putting something together like this? And he was working for one of the studios at the time, and he spoke to the archive team, and they said, wow, this is a really interesting way of getting the movies and shows to live on in people's homes. And they said, no one's ever pitched this to us before. We were like, what?
Interesting.
Like, you've been around for 100 years and no one's pitched this to you before? That seems a little bit crazy. So that's what gave us the impetus to start the business and start talking to the other studios. Wow. And the reception that we've had from the studios in the last couple of years has been fantastic. We're now working with all the major Hollywood studios plus HBO, BBC, etc., which is it's incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. It just goes to show that if you have a question, if you have kind of an inkling to want to start something, like don't wait around and see if, just ask. And I think that's so great that you had all these opportunities. So you talk about being able to work with these amazing movie studios, TV studios.
Yeah.
What's your process like when you walk in and you have to think about for a collection, whether it's, a Marvel one or a Game of Thrones one, what's your process of selecting the best one? Because I imagine you're looking at thousands of photos.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, sometimes for the older movies, there's less available. But I mean, for example, we were over at the Sony Archives a couple of months ago, and literally this was for the Ghostbusters collection, which is coming out, which has just come out. And they literally just brought boxes and boxes of these tiny transparencies. It was like a couple of thousand of them, and it was just like, wow, this is amazing. Obviously, with the more recent movies, everything is digital, so we don't need to go through kind of the same process, and it's just looking at the photographs online or on screen. But we try and make the collections a combination of kind of iconic moments plus some behind the scenes, some rare stuff if there is, and just some other kind of great photographs like this one of Kat.
And off camera, you were saying that the fans have some sort of involvement in helping you pick. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's something we've started doing in the last 6 months. So with a lot of our collections now, more like a couple of months before we release the collection, we actually do a fan poll asking what's your favorite scene or moment from the show or the movie, and what would you most like to hang on your wall. And then we choose one of the fans to win the #1 print of that chosen moment, and they get to say, "I helped curate the official Endgame collection."
Bragging rights.
For example, I know, right? Best bragging rights. So and that really has kind of formed the core of the collections recently, because ultimately, this stuff is for fans, right? So. Having a good portion based on what fans have asked for is kind of the main part of the selection process now.
That's amazing, and I think that's really great for people to have a voice, in what they get to want. They get like a say of what they want to hang in their house, essentially.
Yeah.
For the customers. So you have today the 10th anniversary collection here.
Yeah.
What was the process? I mean, there's a lot of movies, 10 years of MCU films, 22 films. You and I were just talking about Endgames, and we were talking about one movie, which with so many iconic moments.
Yeah.
What was it like to pick out these specific moments, and did anyone stand out to you? Anything that had like a significant meaning?
I mean, the 10th anniversary collection was really tough because it was one of our first collections, and the way that we looked at it, rather than thinking, okay, let's take the moment that sums up the movie or is the most iconic, which obviously with the Iron Man, with the Tony Stark image you saw earlier was kind of what everybody kind of recognizes from Iron Man, but we wanted to kind of make it a photographic representation of all 10 years of movies. So we wanted to include some behind the scenes shots and some publicity stills, etc. So when we released the collection, we felt that we had a really good breadth of the kind of photography that was available. And then we had some feedback from fans saying, well, for Iron Man 3, why did you choose a shot of Tony Stark lying in the snow with a camera above him?
Right.
And it's like, because it's a really, really beautiful photograph, but it's not necessarily what people think of when they think of Iron Man 3. And I think it was probably from then that we started thinking how important it was to actually let fans engage with us and feedback before we release the collections. But that one was definitely the toughest, just because
so many to choose.
20 movies at the time, and so many photographs to look through. But it was obviously great fun.
You feel like you kind of relive that moment every time you look at one of the prints. You're like, oh, I remember exactly when you were in the theater. If like the person next to you was noisy, or if you were enjoying, or if you had to I have to go to the bathroom real bad.
Well, it's the thing. Sometimes you'll choose a print just because it looks really cool, right?
Yes.
But sometimes you'll choose a print because it really resonates with you or means something to you, right? You have that kind of emotional connection with that moment or that character. So, you can buy art for all sorts of reasons, but something that looks cool and resonates with you is really awesome.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was looking at the Halloween collection last night, and all of them creeped me out. I didn't stay on that page for too long. I was like, next tab, please.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about the limited editions and when you're numbering these prints? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always announce how many prints are going to be available from each photograph, and then we usually split those across 2 or 3 sizes. So, for example, Endgame that's coming out next month. We're only releasing 100 of each photograph, but there's going to be somewhere between 20 and 25 photographs.
Wow.
And then the numbering, if there's 3 sizes of one print, for example, if there's 50 of our 11 by 14, then they'll be numbered 1 to 50, and then 1 to 25 of the other 2, but then 100 in total of each image. So, we want to keep them fairly exclusive. We want fans that buy these to really think that they've got something special and unique. So with some of our other collections, we've had bigger edition sizes, but a smaller number of prints. But obviously, when you're talking about Endgame and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is also coming out in a couple of weeks, which is going to be fantastic, by the way.
I'm so excited.
We'd rather produce more photographs, but then just make the editions a little bit smaller.
Yeah, and I like that, and I feel like that kind of gives the owners a little bit of like a feeling that like I got this,
Right.
So these are made for the fans. So
Yeah.
I think the numbering and the exclusivity is really important.
Yeah,
for these
no,
prints.
absolutely.
What are you most excited for going down the road? You've got the Endgame,
Yep.
you've got Harry Potter.
Yeah, those two are a real, I won't say kind of step up, but the images that we have access to for those are absolutely incredible, and having fans' input to make sure we capture the moments that they want is fantastic. We've got we'll have our 3rd Harry Potter out before the end of the year. I've got a couple of other collections I can't tell you about, but from kind of franchises that started in the 70s. One of them may or not feature a very iconic alien. There might be a clue in there somewhere, but I can't actually announce it yet.
It's very exciting.
Right. So, and then, kind of in the long term, we just want to give fans access to a lot more of this archive photography that's been sat in the vaults for years and years. So, through prints, but also through technology as well. So it's about trying to open up the archives and give fans access to stuff that they've never really had access to before.
Yeah, I love that, and I love also that you don't just focus on stills from the movie. That you also
Right.
throw a little bit of behind the scenes. There was that
Yeah.
Thor and Loki one that I saw, and they're with the silhouette. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's that blend between what makes a great photograph and what captures an incredible moment like Cappy.
Absolutely. Well, I love that you got to come here to Sideshow to share these awesome prints with us today. You guys be sure to check these prints out if you're interested in purchasing. Buffy's going to throw a link in the live chat, or at least a little bit more information. So make sure you check that out. We're going to go to a quick video break. We are going to go to Bernadette Bentley, and she's going to unbox the Wonder Woman premium format figure. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Bentley, and I am unboxing this incredible Wonder Woman statue. Just gonna stare at it for a second before I do it, because there are so many pieces. I'm a little intimidated, but I got this. So I know we start with the base, which is much heavier than the base that I have for my Wonder Woman statue, because it's awesome. So look at this. I mean, seriously, it's got the fire, it's got the details, it's got the stairs. It's heavy. So just be forewarned, if you have other statues, this might be a little heavier than some of the other ones you got. Got her base here. Let's see if I can do this backwards. Look at that. Make sure it goes in all the way, because we don't want it wibbly wobbly at the top. There we go. Nice strong legs. I like it, Wonder Woman. It's got a booty. So, the cool thing about the statue is that you can actually keep it as is and be pretty classic with all the stars. And if you do that, there's an option for a fun little belt. Did I do that right? No, it's backwards. I got this. Maybe not. Anyways, some sort of belt goes on there. But look at this exclusive, awesome gladiator skirt. And it just pops right on. That's way easier than the belt. Which you'd think the belt would be easier, but no, skirt's easier. But look at that. I mean, come on. I definitely would have to make that skirt now, because that's so rad. I mean, all the little stars on it and all the little details. And so now I see which way the belt goes. It goes this way. Got it. All right, next up, bodice. We can do this. Wait, first of all, can you see? I don't know if they can zoom in. No, they won't see. But the details on the back, bomb. Like, so good. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. You can do this. No, gotta watch the belt there and in the back too. So you don't want the pointy bits of the belt to go in. You have to make sure they go out. Nice strong Wonder Woman. There we go. And look at that. We're doing pretty good. So next up, learned this. Ta-da! So, okay. So first off, the shield and sword, so cool. I mean, the detail that even like in parts that you're not really gonna see because it's gonna be covered by her hair or her back are still there, which, yay Sideshow. Way to have, way to stick to detail. Okay. Be on brand. Ta-da. Look at that, goes right in there. And then you're gonna wanna lay this across and it just is a little magnet. Boom. Okay, for someone who is not really good at Tetris and not really good at putting things together, these are very simple and easy to put together, which is very nice for someone like me. Okay, so next, I think we have the hands. Look at this lasso! Okay, so I know this one goes down here. Make sure, yep, it's in. Ta-da! You wanna make sure the knot is close to the hand as possible, but it's pretty bendable and pretty flexible. So as you can see, it's gonna go wibbly wobbly, but okay, that looks awesome. That legit looks like she's like getting ready to throw it. I don't wanna be on the receiving end of that. So last but not least, is our awesome I mean, look at that. It's me. Okay, it's not me, but it looks like me a little bit. But also, there's the like choker detail that I love. I just love it. It's got the little W on it. All right. Oop, we can do this. Ta-da. Nope. There we go. She's looking that way. Ta-da. Yes! I did it. I did it. I'm Wonder Woman. And that's it. Look at this. Look how amazing she looks. It's like a true bomb-ass warrior. I mean, she's got the muscles, she's got the sword and the shield and the lasso, and that's it. I'm Bernadette Bentley, and I made the Wonder Woman statue.
Guys, we are back, and I am here with Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Hi. So Chris and I are going to be looking at some Justice League 1/6 scale Hot Toys figures. Obviously, my bias, Wonder Woman. I love that they put her in the black robe that she was only wearing in the movie for half of a scene, and it was never seen again. I was like, why isn't she wearing this more often? It is absolutely gorgeous. And I think also this is the one Wonder Woman figure I've seen that's got the most likeness to Gal Gadot.
Yes, yeah. That's the one thing I like about Hot Toys is their incredible likenesses of the actors that they portray. It's pretty impressive.
I agree.
The figure has an amazing likeness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just like, I'm not just saying like they sculpted their eyes and their nose to be exactly like them. Even the skin texture, like it's not super smooth like it's plastic or anything like that. Like a doll. It's human-like. I feel like I could touch it and it would be
very
soft.
very
Obviously,
lifelike.
it's not. Yeah, it's amazing. Do you have a favorite one out of these four that we have today?
I do like the Batman because I do
Tactical
like
suit.
the tactical military-esque look of Batman in his gear. And it's very similar to his armored Batman suit when he was fighting Superman.
Yeah.
But I do like the Flash. This figure we got here.
Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Yeah.
And I hear we're gonna challenge you to put him in some Flash-like poses today.
Yep. We'll see what we can do with this guy. I definitely like his. He has all his like armored plates. We're so used to seeing like the cartoon and comic book versions where he's just in kind of like a red spandex suit, but here I like how they stylized it where he's having like these armored plates that like reduce the friction when he's running so fast. But I'll see what I can do with this guy, and we'll put him in a cool pose.
Yeah, I actually love what you just said about the difference between the movie version, the suit that Ezra Miller got to wear in the movie, as opposed to what we've seen in, for example, like the Flash show on CW, which is just basically like the spandex.
Yeah.
I like both equally, and I get that TV and movies are different, but this one just looks so fantastic, and obviously Hot Toys with their expertise making it super lifelike. Also, side note, did you guys know that during that scene where Batman came into his little I guess like Ezra Miller Flash Cave, that's what we're calling it today, Flash Cave. He had in the background playing a K-pop video, and that is my favorite K-pop group, Blackpink, in their video, as it was her last. Fun fact about Wendy, I love K-pop. All right, so this, wait, what did you say?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, a little fun fact. I got so many tweets that day. Wendy, did you see Blackpink in the trailer? I was like, yeah, I watched it like 4 times. So the piece that you're putting together, the Flash one, is currently on pre-order. It's expected to ship very soon, obviously, inspired by Ezra Miller's performance in Justice League's hand-painted head sculpt with its incredible likeness, newly developed body with 30 points of articulation. It has interchangeable hands. There's a pair of relaxed hands. You've got his running gesture hands, because why else would you have
all the hands?
All the hands.
Right
battering,
there,
holding hands,
battering.
Gesturing right hand, tailored suit
There we
with red and gold armor plates, sneakers, battering. There's lightning effects that you're using to pose in right now.
And the instructions does have them kind of lettered there, so that way you know where to put them on the figure. I'm kind of just going by the pictures and just kind of putting them
I feel
where
like
it goes. But
I'd be really bad
always
at
read the
this.
instructions before you mess with the figures to know
That's not me.
their limitations.
Which is probably why all my IKEA furnitures are like lopsided in my house. I just have my husband put them together instead. So you guys, if you want to pre-order this figure, you can go to side.show/flashht. And I believe the Aquaman is also on pre-order. Is that correct?
He sure is.
I believe so, yeah.
Which means you can just go to side.show/ I don't see it. Side.show/Aquaman HT. Should have known that. And I like that these figures, I'm not sure about Flash, but I know Wonder Woman and Aquaman comes with their own mother boxes, which I think is pretty amazing. You know, I feel like
he also has the very similar base, like they all do. I think it's based on Batman's like carrier, like when they were in the shot inside of like Batman's Justice League carrier, which was kind of cool.
Amazing.
But interesting thing about this guy is you have to put him in such a dynamic running pose that it's kind of tricky to get that flow of motion. And trying to place the lightning bolts, I'm kind of just doing it kind of relatively quickly here. I'm not Terry or anything like that, but I'm just. No, you're not. I'm not.
What is this shade? Oh no. Chris, I was told that you were like the ultimate person to pose this, so don't disappoint me.
I wouldn't say ultimate, but.
That was in the notes I got last night. Posing expert.
All right, posing expert.
Posing expert.
I guess would be good.
I like the little stand that they're on, the little hook, just because it's kind of inconspicuous.
I think that's somewhat helping this situation here, but I don't want. I gotta kind of keep his center of balance, if you will. But there we go. It's not the best posing, but it's a relatively quick, and I kind of had to put his lightning bolts in between his armor plates, but I probably shouldn't.
I think that looks good.
Have
more confidence.
Thank you,
what
Sam.
they said, have more confidence in yourself.
That.
You did great.
Sam felt bad about the dig, so he came back with the.
The nice thing about some of the armor plates is that they're like very kind of very malleable and I would almost say bendable, but you also want to make sure that you're not over bending it where they're not coming off the fabric on his costume.
Yeah, you're not trying to force anything in there.
Yeah.
You don't break your very expensive,
but
high quality hot toy.
I do definitely like this the style of the Flash because I think there was a quick backstory when he was talking about how like the armor was similar to like the space shuttle because it had to like deal with like the heat of re-entry because he's running so fast, so he had to kind of make his own suit out of like shuttle plating, but I thought that was pretty cool, and he was definitely my favorite character in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I would say he's obviously for me the trophy goes to Wonder Woman, but I think the Flash is my second favorite just because everything he said, like he's such a scene stealer.
Right.
You know, when he's like, I just like run real quick and push people out of the way and run away.
Yeah.
I also never noticed the lightning bolt on the bottom of his shoe.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie, you don't really get to see that.
That's interesting. Yeah. So he's got
So if you get a hot toy,
detail the bottom of the sneakers with a little lightning bolt. That's pretty rad.
On brand, Flash, on brand, and we like it.
But my favorite scene was when Superman came back from the dead. Spoilers.
What?
And then they were fighting Superman near the statue.
Yeah.
And then
when he was
Flash is like running to try to beat him, and then
the
Superman
eyes.
is just like, like following him.
Ultimate
Because like
creepy
Superman
moment.
and Flash are like,
Well, they're known to kind of try to outrace each other,
right?
as you saw at the end, yeah.
Because I do like the in the Superman cartoon or the Justice League cartoon, I think it was, where him and Flash and Superman were racing around the world, and that was one of my favorite episodes. And I think it was the end credit scene of Justice League.
Yes.
It paid homage to that, and that's why I was very appreciative of that film, because it was very lighthearted, and it definitely had a lot more of the more subtle, fun DC movie that we're used to, and you can tell, what was Joss Whedon and what was Zack Snyder. So they definitely played off well when they were putting that film together, and I definitely appreciated that film. And the kind of fun rivalry with the speed between Flash and Superman was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that they mentioned that. So in your opinion, I want to post this to the chat too, so you guys go ahead and put your answer, your speculation. In the world of the Justice League movie, at the end we saw them go on a race. Who wins? To the room.
It's Superman.
Superman, Flash. We got one for Superman, one for Flash.
Like I feel like with Superman though, like he's good at like so much, but like Flash, like he's good at being fast. So I feel like they both cancel each other out. Like they're both fast, because like he's.
There's been winners in the comic.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like I haven't really read the comics, so
right.
I just feel like, because like I like them both, know, and like
it's a tie. They both break the sound barrier, and all is right with the world.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
But,
Oh man.
Strongly disagree. Strong disagree on Sam.
Oh no.
Let's put him up here with his team.
With your friends.
Whoop. His lightning,
your friends.
lightning bolt came out.
Now he's gonna lose to Superman.
Speed.
Look what you did.
I know, right?
It's canon. Creating canon.
Going on. Flash, Superman, in the chat.
We're gonna break the chat room.
Sam
Break the
says
chat.
everyone who says Flash is right.
Okay.
Actually, there's only one winner in the Justice League, and that's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, she's the best. She's kind of like, guys, this is childish. Please stop.
She's the best out of everybody.
They're all winners in my heart.
She is the best. And you guys, so
That was called a cop-out just now. Jeff got called out.
She's my favorite character. It's not a cop-out.
I wish you guys could be in this room to hear like the shade going back and forth. It is so much fun. So you guys, thank you so much, Chris, for putting together the Flash 1/6 scale Hot Toys figure. If you guys want to pre-order these, they are both on Sideshow's website, Sideshow/FlashHT for Flash, Sideshow/AquamanHT for Aquaman. And of course, you can get the Wonder Woman Deluxe one, or you can get the Batman Tactical Suit, or you can have all four. Why not do it? Have the collection, put them up. You'll love it. So you guys, we're going to take a short break. As I mentioned earlier, we had an in-studio interview with TJ Storm, who is an actor. He's been in various video games. He's been in various movies. We have an interview with him sitting down with Robin. Check it out right now. We'll be right back.
I have a friend, his name is Garrett Warren. He does action. He did the action for Avatar. He did the action for Godzilla 2014. And he said, do you have anybody who does beast stuff? Because I was working on a lot of stuff at the time. I'm like, yeah. And I gave him some names and I forgot about it. Then a couple of weeks later, he calls, he goes, hey, could you come down and work on some beast stuff with us? And he kind of said it like that. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Now, I have a performance capture performance school. It's called the Mind's Eye Tribe. And we teach people how to move like creatures. So.
And where do we go and find out more information about the Mind's Eye Tribe?
mindseyetribe.com.
There should be some URLs down here.
mindseyetribe.com.
Nice.
Ding. But
so you have performance.
But we teach people how to move like creatures, how to use swords, how to use tactical weapons. We teach them how to perform and be prepared for video games and movies and stuff like that, because
Right.
actors don't always know how to perform that kind of action properly. So they have a less chance in an audition, and they mess up their performances, and they have to be doubled by stunt people, which is totally fine. But if they want to have a slightly better chance in an audition, for instance, we help them
Right.
with that and stuff like that. So I thought he was calling me down to help the actors that he'd hired for this job, whatever job it was, because I didn't know what it was.
Very mysterious.
Yeah, I thought we were going to help them get their movement on point. So I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'll see you in the morning. So I went down there, and there's only 3 of us standing on a huge stage here in the valley. And
And you're like, where is everybody?
and I was like, what time are the actors showing up? They're like, yeah, whatever. You're Muto 1, you're Muto 2, and you're Godzilla. And I was like,
Yes.
it was awesome. It was amazing. So I fought with the Mutos. They kicked me for 2 days straight, but it was awesome. And we shot it, and it was amazing. And then we went on to Godzilla King of the Monsters, and that was a whole nother event. But it's amazing to, enter the legacy of Godzilla. There's 7 or 8 guys who brought Godzilla to life from the very beginning till now,
Right.
and I get to be one of them. And I think I'm the first American Godzilla, which is awesome. It's huge. It's not a small thing. So I totally honor and respect the chance to get to be Godzilla, because the very first movie my dad ever took me to was a movie called Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. It's the very first movie that I ever remember seeing. Yes, it was awesome.
Nice.
And it was also terrifying. I was very small. And the Smog Monster was a terrifying creature. He would fly over the city, and wherever he flew, dead bodies were all twisted up. I was like, and then at the end of the movie, Godzilla tears him apart. And I was
serves him
like,
up.
yes. And I was just like, whoa, this is awesome. And my head almost exploded. It was really, really cool. So to be able to step into that
Amazing.
also is
Amazing.
awesome.
Now, did it hit you later on, like when you saw it released on film? You're like, I'm Godzilla. I am Godzilla. Like,
It was awesome.
it was awesome.
I do remember we in the first shoot in Godzilla 2014, we were trying to figure out how to kill the last Muto, and we were all throwing around ideas. Everybody was throwing ideas, and like, okay, we'll just shoot a bunch of them and let the studio pick which one it is.
Right.
We didn't know, so everybody tossed in ideas, and one of the guys, somebody had brought a Barney costume for reference, and I saw the costume in the morning, and I'm like, that costume, I'm not wearing that.
I'm not
There's
wearing
no way I'm putting that Barney mask on my head. And it didn't fit anyway, my hair, too much hair. So the other guy was wearing it, and he was playing with it, and he was holding it by the jaw and flicking it around. I'm like, oh, what happens if I open his jaws like this and I blow fire down?
I
You
was
wanna try
gonna
that?
I was gonna ask you that
And
with the choreography.
Yeah.
How collaborative was it? Like,
It totally.
so that
there was a
that
group
whole
of us.
thing, that signature move in
But that
2014,
one, just
where
that one idea, I was
where you
like,
just
could I blow
tries
fire?
to-
And they're like, sure, we'll shoot
that
that.
is an awesome move.
Because it doesn't look like that when we're doing it. Remember,
Right.
I'm sitting there holding a Barney
Barney
going,
costume.
"Ah!" It looks like I'm vomiting into a Barney mask. So
And of course, that's also a good, vomit into the Barney
Yes.
costume. I'm sure every parent wants to do that.
But that's what happened. The Muto guy, he was on crutches so he could lean forward and move like a spider.
Right.
And I will never forget that I grabbed his head and I pulled the Barney jaws apart.
Right.
And he arched his back to make it look painful. And I pulled the jaws apart. I'm going to show you. And
Wait, he's getting up.
yeah, and I pulled the jaws apart, and I'm like, "Rah!" And I roared down his throat, and the actor fell out of the bottom of the mask before I was done blowing. So I'm like, "Rah!" And now I'm just holding a head. I'm like,
What do I do now?
so I just dropped my arms, and I'm still in character, and I'm swaying
Look
back
at
and
how
forth.
cool-
And I have his head in my hand, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I'm just like, I just throw it to the side, and Garrett starts yelling at me, "You're tired. Now you're exhausted. Fall to the side." So I take a half a step, and ooh, I try to fall in slow motion, which is really difficult to do. And you forget about it because that was one of several endings.
But that was
And then we
the
went to the
amazing,
theater.
where
That.
the blue fire and it and jets it right down his throat and
When
kills
we-
him. And I was like, yes!
When we went to the theater, I had forgotten that we shot it. And so 2 things surprised me. One, there was this sound that went woo, woo, woo,
Yeah,
woo,
the-
and then I
the
saw this
charge
blue
up.
light and I was like, what's that blue light? He's gonna do it! I'm talking about him like he's in third person, like I didn't do it.
Like you knew.
But I
You
didn't
knew
have
what
blue
you were
lights coming up my back. I didn't know that was happening. That was all
that-
the animators doing their
I
magic.
think that for me, when you have it, when it started his tail, I was yelling in the theater, and sorry, I apologize to my coworkers there. I was like, yes, yes, yes! Like it got higher, and my
But that's
voice
the best.
got higher.
That's what
And then he
everybody
just-
did, including me.
He pries the drawers open.
And I was
then-
there when that happened, but it wasn't blue. So
It wasn't blue, right.
I saw it and I was screaming, and
But
then
they made your move look even cooler, right?
it's a
The special
collaborative
effects.
effort. It is
Yeah.
collaborative. And then when we saw the fire blow and his head came off and Godzilla
And then
throws it, and I was like, yes! That was awesome. Because you forget about it. That was
Right.
6 or 8 months ago, and we shot it, and we did several projects since then. And you even forget. Oh, I was walking around like Godzilla. And we
that's-
did the same for this one, for Godzilla King of the
That's
Monsters.
Hey you guys, welcome back. So that was an interview with TJ Storm. I am here with Buffy. Isn't it crazy how the Barney and Godzilla correlation?
Who knew?
Mind blown. Didn't know about that. Also, probably played so many video games.
Yeah, we didn't even
that
know.
TJ Storm in it, and like, wow. So you guys, that was just a segment of the interview. You barely scratched the surface. So if you want to watch the full interview, you can go to Sideshow/TJ Storm. Check that out with Robin, our resident Godzilla super fan.
Mel's gonna drop that in the chat because I'm not in the chat.
You're not in the
because I'm
chat. You're here. You're gonna tell us about something.
Yes. Yep. I'm actually gonna tell you about. Wait, what time is it right now?
What time my watch is broken? It is. Should we
What?
say it together? 1, 2, 3. Let
Let
your
your
kids
kids
sideshow.
All right. So last week the challenge was to draw a crayon drawing of Lobo.
Crayon only,
Using
right?
only crayon, and that was to
can't
win a
even.
Lobo 6 scale. So we've got some of our favorites right here.
I can't draw with crayons at all. Like when I colored, it would all be out. What?
Look at that.
That's with crayons?
That's
very
amazing.
Lisa Frank.
Amazing.
Love it.
I love it. Look
Oh
how
my,
cool.
it's so cute. I can't even with these.
so cute.
Definitely let you Oh my gosh.
That's all in
Amazing.
right there.
How is this crayon?
That's a crazy
Who
one.
are these aliens with
know.
these skills? What is this?
So luckily it was a random winner.
So you don't have to- oh,
This
that's
was
the-
our random
the
winner.
choices are so
Yep.
hard. Look
so
at that.
congratulations to Adam B.
Adam B coming in
Yeah.
hot with the Lobo
Yep,
drawing.
Adam, you're going to get an email from me to your email inbox with instructions on how to claim.
Congratulations.
Yes. So this week the challenge is
Are
for
they gonna have
this
to draw
guy
with crayons?
right here. No, we've got something even better lined up. So this is for the Deadpool 2 Dusty Deadpool right here. Nice. Right here. Very cool.
I love it.
So in order to get him, as we all know, Deadpool is a huge fan of the Golden Girls. So we've decided, in that spirit, it's going to be a cobbled cosplay challenge to dress up as any one of the Golden Girls.
Oh my god,
Yes.
this is amazing.
Yes. Cobbled cosplay means you need to use only found items around your home or your office. Pick any one of the Golden Girls and show us what you got. Let's see it. So you're going to post that on your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So if you post it on Facebook, it's going to be worth 1,000 points. 1,000 bonus entries.
Wow.
So there's a bunch of ways to enter that'll get you 1 to 5 entries. But if you do this challenge, it'll get you 1,000 bonus entries. So it makes your chances go way, way high. Most of the winners have been the people who've done the challenges. So put it on Facebook, it'll be 1,000 entries. On Twitter, 1,000. On Instagram, 1,000. So you can get up to 3,000 bonus entries.
Oh, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so just come on, bring it. We're going to
How
have
much do you want this? us.
Right? So much. Show us. So she's going to drop the link in there. It's side.show, Let Your Kid Sideshow, which is LYKS. It's right there on the screen, Dusty Deadpool. So that's starting right now, and it's open until Sunday at midnight. Make sure that you leave your entries posted on your account until next Wednesday. Otherwise, they won't count as entries, and we will announce the winner next week.
Yay! You guys, I hope you enter because I cannot
it.
wait to see all the Golden
I
Girls.
know.
I like in my head, I'm already thinking like the wigs and the
It's gonna be
costumes.
so good.
It's gonna be
they can
so
get together
amazing.
with people and like do a whole ensemble.
Please do, like, you know what, like replicate
Do it.
scenes. But I feel like I'm giving you guys the
I
answers.
know, like,
but
do
you know what?
it.
You be creative. Just
That'd be so
I cannot wait. It makes me want to enter.
I know.
Well, you guys, this has been, what was that, Sam?
Oh my God.
Come on.
Sam, get out.
You interrupted to say that?
Oh no.
He said,
We're-
who are the Golden Girls?
Need a crash course
Yeah.
on Golden Girls.
That's what we're doing after the show.
Next week instead of the live show, we're
Yeah,
gonna talk
we're
about
all
Golden
just
Girls
gonna talk about Golden
only.
Girls.
Just kidding, we're not gonna do that. Only a touch to show the winner.
Yep.
So you guys, thank you so much for such an amazing show. I had such a great time. Thank you everybody here in the studio. I want to thank all our guests for stopping by. For Rene Freling from Classic Stills.
That was so cool.
TJ Storm, that interview again is going to be up on the website or on the YouTube channel, so you can check out the whole thing. It's going to be amazing. Thank you to our co-host. Thank you to our co-host. Saying that backwards. Co-hosts Bernadette Bentley and Chris for joining us today. And that's our show, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for
We
coming.
will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.